Right there. Okay, here we go. I knew it. I knew it.
Can we get a timetable on this topic? Like, is this 3-4 months in? We going to couples counseling? Is this years in? Break it down. When are we going to couples counseling?
Well, I don't think it's a time limit. I think it goes for me if you feel like you need it. I mean, if you're going in, by the time you say that you're serious anyway, and if you're not as strong as you need to be, so whether that is 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, I don't think there's a time limit. I really don't.
What are your thoughts?
I would say really like if it's 3 or 4 months in, who needs counseling at 3 or 4 months? So I'm going to say a few years maybe in. You know what I mean? Where
you guys. So if you just started a brand new relationship and y'all 4 or 5 months in, but you like this person, and y'all having a little issues here and there, you would not go to counseling?
I would feel like that we should be able to work through them at that point. It doesn't seem like at that stage it would be super complicated to the point where you would need counseling. I mean, that's just my thought.
For me. I wouldn't even go that early.
What's your thoughts now?
As y'all know, I'm going through counseling myself just for, my own, getting in front of my own issues and things like that. And what I've learned from, sitting down and just being able to open up and just speak on different things is it's never too early to get in front of, a counselor or someone who's willing to listen with an objective mind. I would always implore someone who's had hurt in their life, past issues and past challenges, and they bring those into new relationships, or they have fears when they get into new relationships, to actually seek counseling, because those detriments can be brought into a new relationship and cause problems, which will ultimately lead you to these counseling places a little bit prematurely. So it's almost like you got to do your due diligence for yourself before you can start working on those problems in your relationships, because sometimes a lot of the times we create our own issues, and we think that those issues are relationship issues when it could just be about us. So if we do our homework and really dig into ourselves, get into our minds, we tend to have better outcomes when it comes to our relationships, I think.
All right. Do y'all think every couple should go to counseling before they get married, if they're about to get married?
I do. Before marriage, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, though?
I'm not sure. I don't know about that, because what is the counselor going to uncover? What are you doing what are they going to tell you that you can't talk to your partner first?
So normally it's like a third party error or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a breakdown between they dive into different topics to see if you're on the same page.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that would make sense, because someone looking in always has a clearer or better picture than the two that are actually in it. Because they start to see things, they hear things, a lot of consistent things come up that you may be hearing, they may not. And then the third party can say, hey, this person said these things 5 times and you skimmed past that, or it wasn't as present in your mind as it was in theirs. And they can help that other person to see that other person's issue. And then also sometimes what it is we become so immune to things that are repetitively said to us. We just sometimes we turn a blind eye to it, sometimes we fix it, or sometimes we just write it off as, oh, that's just them being emotional. And they're in their emotional feelings right now. And we just say, we leave it at that. Where a third party can actually dive into that a little bit deeper and say, yo, you need to look at this a little bit more, because that person is really, really tailoring or focusing on that, which could be a problem, which could possibly lead to divorce, separation, and or death, because I would kill you.
Yeah, what Cynthia is saying. Cynthia said my brother is a preacher, and before he marries anybody, that is a thing. Like when you get married in the church, most of the time they make you go through counseling for the married.
Yeah.
So that is a thing.
That's a thing. That's a real good thing.
So a lot of people in the comments are saying, if we're getting along, I don't think it's necessary.
It's necessary, people.
Right.
It's necessary because we can be getting along right now, but then something could arise that, or something, or a pattern that you think that you see out of your mate because you've seen it in the past relationship could come about, and that could actually change the way you move with them, or accusing them, or start to dive in an area where it ain't even them. You jump into that side of the pool or something.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check for $160,000. If you're looking to get money,
you know what I mean? So,
and I can easily see how they say that if you're getting along, then why would you? Because I wouldn't even consider it. If I'm getting along with the person, I would not even consider it. What made me come up with the subject? A couple that I know that live together, not in the best place, in the best space, but they seem to be good for each other. So I made a suggestion to them to just go to couple counseling.
All right,
you know what? Nikita actually makes a good point. And she says counseling doesn't always equate to something bad. It doesn't. It actually could be. It actually could be not bad. And we look at counseling as being bad, or we look at it, having negative connotations. It really could be the third party just being there as a communication. Some people may not feel comfortable communicating just with the two. And they may be able to open up in an open forum or a third party forum and things like that. And it just continues to keep the lines of communication open because I'm hearing something different. I got somebody else hearing something different, and they're regurgitating what both parties are saying, and it's coming out something another way, and it can be a benefit. So, Nikita, thank you for that comment because it doesn't always have to be negative.
All right, I want to address something that Angelina said. So she's saying if you have problems in the first 3 to 4 months, then you might need to rethink about even having this relationship. But sometimes you could have, problems in the first 3 to 4 months, and that could still be something that you want to work through. So what are y'all thoughts on? Is that if you're having problems that soon, would you just call it quits, or would you dive into it?
See, I look at it like this. Well, I call it quits, right? You meshing two people who never, ever, ever been together before. You're meshing two different personalities, two different entities, and you trying to create one. There's going to be growing pains. There's going to be frictions. There's going to be things you're learning about this person. If you're ready to walk away after 2 and 3 months because of adversities and challenges, when do those challenges build you up an immune system? So when you do go through those things again, you're successful when moving forward positively. Everything ain't always a kill you moment. That's why we laugh at this, and sometimes we sometimes may look at Darnell or T as being jerks when we say, "Did it kill you?" It didn't kill you, so you're still here to live and still here to prosper. So it's like those things actually can build character. Have you ever rode a bike and you fell the first time? You didn't say to yourself, "I ain't getting on that bike ever again." You got your ass on that thing and rode it again because it was fun. Right. So why look at something that in the first 2 or 3 months it was some challenges and you're ready to walk away from it? You never know. That person could really, really, really be a positive in your life and add reinforcement to it, to somewhere that you was ready to walk away from just because.
Right. And typically 2 to 3 months in, you figure that most of the things that you guys are bumping heads about this is the first time. It's not like a repetitive thing. So you're learning each other, you're learning, likes, dislikes, triggers and all of that stuff. So I feel like at 2 to 3 months, it's definitely something to work through because it's not a repetitive, redundant type of issues that you guys are dealing with at that point in time.
And then I would say too, it depends on the issues that you're having.
So what if he got a baby on the way?
Say what now?
he got a baby on the way. What's up? Y'all,
I mean,
y'all,
He had the baby.
During-
So we got
y'all
together.
3 to 4 months in. You like him, y'all wasn't exclusive all these 3 to 4 months, and now he has a baby on the way.
Well, I would say it's time to move out the way and let him and that.
Here we go.
Well,
Here
I
we
mean,
go.
what is he deciding
That's a
to?
family that he's getting ready to
Right.
start.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. We would have to have
Family.
discussions. Like, are you deciding to, possibly make it work with her?
No,
Because-
he's not trying to be with her. He just had y'all wasn't always exclusive. Y'all just got exclusive, but he has a baby on the way. So would you be willing to work through that?
Did he
No.
learn about the baby? Wait, did he know about the baby?
I mean,
Excuses and bookmarks.
But wait,
too,
listen,
like-
I can tap now. But listen, just a question though. Did we know about the baby beforehand
That's
when
right.
we started dealing, or is this like a call that he
No,
just so
this is
happened
what
to
I'm
get?
saying. You meet somebody, right? Y'all not exclusive at the beginning.
Mhm.
So now y'all
Exclusive.
y'all just start being exclusive 3 months in, and he still has a baby from the time that y'all wasn't exclusive.
Oh, okay.
so do I know about the baby before we become exclusive?
No.
Oh,
Oh. Okay, then yeah.
So if y'all 4 months in, and he tells you, yo, I got a call that my ex is 7 months pregnant, 8 months
Right.
pregnant. What do you do?
Well, that's different. I mean, you're 4 months in and she's 7 months pregnant. Well, then that happened before.
But what if even if it's 4 months?
Right.
Y'all got together. He had somebody before you.
Right.
It didn't work, but a baby is produced in that time right before y'all got together.
Mhm.
Now y'all together. Y'all vibing. Y'all going. Are you walking away
Right.
just because of a baby?
Right. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm walking.
Why?
Cold-hearted killer.
Why?
man.
I'm walking.
I told
Because
y'all.
that
Cold-hearted
is-
killer.
I foresee trouble in there.
So-
I foresee.
All right, hold on.
How was that-
Because I'm going to give an example of this. When I was younger, I did start messing with a girl who was like 3 months pregnant at the time.
Mhm.
I didn't say, no, I'm not going to deal with you because you're pregnant. I just waited till she had the baby, and then we were still together after that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is a thing. Like,
Yeah, how's that any different?
Yeah.
How's that any different from a man coming into a woman's life and she got a child? How is it any different?
But the child, okay, if
But-
the man already has the child is already there, that's the difference.
How is it different? If the baby was conceived before you
right.
and him got together, it's the same thing. It's not no different. If the baby was conceived before you and him got together, that child's going to be in his life regardless if it was 1 year old when you got with him or
Right.
whatever. The same way we would be in the same way we would be coming into your life with a child. We would accept that responsibility as you as my woman and you have a child.
Mhm.
I mean, certain things we miss out on certain blessings because
You know what? I forgot about that. I forgot about that. That did actually happen with somebody who I know very well. When they got together, the girl that he had before her was 3 months pregnant.
Mhm.
Well, they stayed together. She
Mhm.
stayed there with him, and right today, they are as happy can be.
Mhm.
I have to say.
Mhm.
All right. Now you find out 3 to 4 months in, your person is either alcoholic or has a drug habit. Are you not working through that? This is another serious. Y'all wanted serious issues
Yeah,
to go to
true.
counseling for.
Yeah.
So now, are you working through that, or are you just like, no, I'm out?
No,
Oh, no, I
yeah,
work
you
through
work through that.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
work
sure.
through
So you're working through the drug addict and the alcoholic, but you're not working through the
Well,
case.
I mean, I would work through the kid, but I think for me though, as far as the child goes, like I feel like we would be learning each other and we're still getting to know each other and grow each other, right? So then we're slapped with something else that is not going to necessarily be easy. So therefore, if let's say 3 to 4 months we're in and that happens, that 3 to 4 months has to be a strong 3 to 4
Yeah,
months.
Exactly.
It has to be a strong 3 to 4 months. You know what I mean?
But what if it's not strong? But what if you feel like it has the potential to be strong?
It has to show that potential.
It has to show that potential. It really does, honestly, because you figure what's about to come into the mix is really about to be changing, life changing, life altering
And,
for both of us.
yeah,
You know,
and if I know that he absolutely is completely finished with the other woman, or if they are broken up,
Right.
or it was something that just happened. If I know that it is absolutely over with them, then I could possibly do it. I mean, when in my younger days, I could do it quicker than I could in my older days.
So, my question is this: why so much placed upon a man if he comes into a woman's life and she has a responsibility like children, right? He comes into that knowing that she's a package, right? And he's supposed to adapt to that world and be a stand-up guy.
But that's his choice.
It is his choice, but if he wasn't, he would be ridiculed. It's not just his choice. Yeah, you would be like, oh, this, you knew that I had kids. You knew that I was a package, and you chose to not take care of that because you knew that. Why is it not the same thing as a woman as well, saying, okay, this man has a child and the relationship is over with him and there, or there's always going to be a relationship. Like when you have a child with somebody, even though I'm not a parent, you still have a relationship with with the other parent for the rest of your life.
right?
Not even if the child is 21, that relationship is still there because the child is still a part of you too. That don't gotta mean you're sleeping with them. That don't mean nothing. You can be adults and still call your child's mother and check on them and make sure they have everything that they need. It goes back to the episode that we talked about a few episodes back with the $500 guy, giving child support and then buying his child sneaks, and she's acting like an ass because he wants to do more for his child than just be a check. Why do not we have that same type of reprieve as men to believe in our women being there instead of saying, oh, well, you got a child. Oh, you and the baby mom still messing around with each other. Oh, it ain't over yet. Whatever. Why is that the case? I'm confused with that.
And it's not, again, it's the guy's choice whether or not to stay, just as it is the woman's choice whether or not to stay. But classic example of why I would walk. Because if a case came up like that where you got to call and check on her, oh, you're okay, you got to take care of
the baby.
Right. That's why I get out of the way and let them handle
But he
that.
can't just call and check on the baby. It don't have to be like they still fucking.
No,
he can just call and check.
But
The doctor, when you cool at the doctor.
Let's do this. You have a son. You have a son. Your son and your son's father and you are not together anymore.
Right.
If you get sick and your son tells his father that you're sick, he calls to check on you,
Right.
and you're in another relationship. What's wrong with that? Y'all have something that y'all gonna have for the rest of your life.
And that
A offspring. So there's going to be care because that's my son's mother. So when my son hurts from his mother being sick, I got to comfort my son, but also make sure you're cool so I can relay that to him. It's maturity. We got to be mature. At some point, we got to put down the innuendos of, oh, he going to go back and they going to be sleeping with each other because he called. It's about maturity. At some point, we got to be mature and say, they always gonna have that bond because they got a child, and that's all it is. Mm-hmm. We ain't sleeping with each other. We ain't messing with each other. We got something in common, which is this child, and we always going to be in that child's life.
That is true.
All right, now let me ask them. So now y'all on the hot seat. So if you was 3 or 4 months pregnant, and it was a wrap, it was a done deal with your baby father, but you reconnected with somebody that you used to mess with. Now, would you entertain this and go into a relationship, or are you going to wait until you had a baby?
I would wait until I had the baby.
I would definitely wait.
Yeah, I would definitely wait. I feel like, anything can happen during those emotional times during pregnancy. So I feel like it would just be.
Why are you laughing at?
Because the cake look good over here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I want a piece of the cake. I'm a fat boy.
Yeah, right. He's calling bullshit. But I'm just saying, aren't women emotional during pregnancy?
Exactly.
So therefore, like I might be feeling somebody that I had a history with or something, but I might still be in love or emotionally attached to my baby father.
Mhm.
So therefore, you know what I mean? I would just
Right, but I'm saying in my equation, you're not in the middle. That's done.
Mhm.
That situation with your baby.
The Real Real, authenticated luxury resale. Thousands of rare, totally unique finds for everyone you love, including yourself.